Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the first wrap-up video I will do ever because since I started this channel 2 weeks ago or so, and I haven't done any wrap-up videos yet. So in this video I am going to talk about the books I read during January, during February, and during March, the month of March. And I mean, since I'm kind of a slow reader, I guess this way is best. I don't know, in my opinion, this way is best. Because instead of talking just about 5 books, because I literally read 5 books a month, I will be able to talk about 15, which are more, obviously. Okay, I don't know if you hear it, but my neighbors are doing reforms in their houses, and they are literally right now making a lot of noise. Anyway, so I only own 2 of the books I'm going to talk about because in these 3 months I've been spending a lot of money on books, but I haven't really read any of the books I bought. So the first book I read this year, I started it the 1st of January, and it's Daisy Jones and the Six. Okay, I feel like it's kind of a controversial opinion, but I didn't really love it. Like, I mean, I liked it and I kind of enjoyed reading it, but at some points it really felt like the plot was dragging a bit and it was kind of slow. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend it because it is easy to read in the sense of it's only written as an interview. So there are like a lot of interviews mixed in one interview, which is great for like everyone who wants to read something easy because it's basically dialogues. You don't have anything else apart from dialogues, which if you take a lot of time, like you don't like descriptions and all that, I feel like you will like. But for me, because I was expecting so much of it and it didn't really fulfill my expectations, that I felt like it. But yeah, so this is about Daisy Jones, who is the daughter of a model and an artist, I believe, or a musician maybe, I don't know. And so she has always been in the Hollywood scene with all these emerging groups of the 60s, and also talks about the story of 2 brothers who are called Billy and Graham, who want to start their own music band. And in a way, these characters met, and it's about mostly what happens between them, the relationships in the band, a clear warning for topics such as drugs, alcoholism, because maybe they are kind of an important point of the entire, how do you say trama in Spanish, in English? Okay, anyways, they are kind of an important part of the entire story of the book. So yeah, still I think it's very well written. So I gave it 3.5 stars, even if I didn't really enjoy it as much. One book I read was Hit Heaven, which is an Omegaverse reverse harem book, but it all has its explanation. During this period of time, I was waiting for the second part of Pact, which is also a reverse harem book, to come out. So since I was waiting and super excited for it, I wanted to read something that was also reverse harem and Omegaverse. And so I found these books that I'm going to talk about now. So the first one is Hit Heaven, which is about this organization that where you can pay, like for alphas where you can pay and be with an omega, and for omegas where you can pay to spend your hit with them. And there are these 2 characters who end up having a relationship and all that, and then they look for other mates and the thing. It was an easy read. I read it in like 2 hours literally, and I'm a slow reader. So if I read it in 2 hours, being such a slow reader, you will read it in one, probably. Like really, I'm a really really slow reader. It was good. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like I was reading anything that I could read fast in order to wait until Pact Darling Part 2 came out. So it wasn't really memorable or anything. And the next book I read was Maddix. Maddix was kind of okay. I liked a lot some characters, but really, I wasn't even reading it. I was mostly reading the dialogues just because I was interested in reading something and I wanted to read Pact Darling Part 2, but it didn't come out yet. So I had to read something and I just picked up Maddix. I think it's part of a series and that there are more books or like a companion novel series, something like that. And I think I'm not going to read any of the others because even though I enjoyed it, it wasn't my favorite, and also like I kind of know who is the main character in the next one, and I'm not interested. So yeah, if someone has read it, please, by all means, tell me about it. Tell me if you liked it, if you hated it, anything. But yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to read that. Next is Pact Darling Part 2. I was waiting for this book to come out since September. And I know there was people that was waiting longer, but yeah, I read the first book in September of 2021. But then the author announced that the second book would come the 18th of January 2022. So I've been rereading parts of the first book over and over again since September. Like for the people who has read it, I've been reading the last part just to get the point of view of them about what they have done. It was one of my most awaited book releases this year. And so if you don't know, Pact Darling Part 1 is also a reverse harem Omegaverse book, and it's kind of this idea where there is an organization that protects Omegas, so that Omegas can go there to study, to whatever, and when they start being in heat and all that, when they grow enough, they can look for partners or a pack. So this girl, whose name is Lila, she is trying, like she doesn't have parents, she's an orphan, she was sold to this organization. So the thing is, she knows that for her, she will never have this kind of pack, because the thing is with people like her, which are called darlings because it's the surname that the organization gives them. For the darlings, there is they have this debt because since the organization has like dressed them, feed them, and all that during the years, they have this debt that if someone wants them, they have to pay. So if a pack wants a darling, they have to pay. So normally what happens is that no one wants a darling in their pack because it has no name, no anything, and also you have to pay for them, which. But so this girl knows that she's not going to find a pack. So she's trying to push the date where she will have to find a pack as far as she can, like as back as she can, a lot. Like she's starving herself, doing a lot of sport just for her body, not to have enough energy to go into heat. So the thing is, the guy who like works in this organization, is the owner of everything, tells her, basically blackmails her, telling her that if she doesn't go to his son's pack, he would get her into heat with chemicals and then put her in rotation, which is kind of like you rotate every heat you spend with one pack, that pays for you and all that. And that way she would pay the debt. So she decides to go to this guy's son's pack. And that pack had they already have an omega. But it's a male omega, and that's why like the fathers, it was like because they want to have grandsons and all that. Anyway, but the book is really good. Like the relationship between the two omegas, it's fantastic. Really, Orion and Lila they are great, really. I mean, it's not that kind of book where the main character appears and so everything that was before goes out of the window. No, this book, like the friendship and the relationship between Orion, who is the Omega of the pack, and Lila, who is the foreign Omega, it's super sweet, super cute. They protect each other, and I really love that relationship. Like, it's my favorite relationship out of, like, on these books. Every time I reread the scenes, I reread their scenes because they are perfect for each other. After this, I decided to finish a Mariana Zapata book that I started and I didn't finish. So, the one of Winnipeg and Me. What happened with this book? It was very long. Like, I don't know if you like have an idea of how long Mariana Zapata's books are. 20 chapters of nothing, and finally they kiss. There you go. And then you have an epilogue. But literally Mariana Zapata's books are kind of like this because that's why she's called the Queen of Slow Burn. At first, I liked it. And I started reading it and everything was okay. When I was about 30% in, I got bored. So yeah, I got bored and I didn't read anything. And then, like 2 months after that, because I started this book in 2021, 2 months after that, I said, okay, I like the characters. I'm not going to DNF this book because everyone likes it. And I was enjoying it. I just got bored in the middle of it. So I started reading, forcing myself at first, and then I enjoyed it again. And I finished it. And I mean, it's well written and all that, but I think it was too long for me. Like, I like long books sometimes, but I'm a slow reader. And when a book takes me too long, because I have a lot of like things to do or whatever, or exams, when a book takes me that long, I kind of tend to get bored and then like pick it up again. It happened the same to me with the Lab Hypothesis, and that isn't even that long. And I like that book, and I liked this one. I am going to say that what I like the most of this book is the characters. Without any doubt, the characters. The next one is the first book I read in February, I think. And that's the third book of the artichoke / Calloway Sister series. I thought I was a weird person till Destiny Destiny. I don't know why, but now you're my bestie. No, you're not, but well, if you want to. What happened with this book was that I read the first one, kinda hated it. Yeah. Like, I mean, I like the characters in general, but I didn't really like the story, and it felt like it didn't happen much. So yeah, then I read the second one, and I enjoyed it more, mostly because there was like other characters involved. So I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't that in love with it, and I was thinking about it like, okay, this is the second book of a series that has 10 books. What am I gonna do? Because I'm not reading that. Like, it's too long, I don't like them that much, and the rest of the books are super long. But then I was like, after reading The Wall of Winnipeg and Me, and after reading Pact Darling, which was like my most expected release of the year, I decided to read the next one. I don't know why I did that, but I did. And I'm not gonna say much about it because since it's the third book, and I feel that everyone knows this series. But anyway, so the thing is, I really enjoyed this book. Like, this one was the first one I truly liked, and not just because of the quotes that were there, because the quotes are magnificent, like 10 out of 10. But yeah, I didn't have the issue with that. I had the issue with like the plot. That was the word. These books talk about Lily Calloway and Lauren Hale, who are childhood best friends to lovers. Well, to fake dating to lovers. So I feel like even if these books for me are going to be average, the Calloway Sisters series, that that are the books I'm going to love. The next book I read, I don't even know why I did this to myself, but I decided to pick up another Mariana Zapata book, which was Lingus. Why did I picked it up? Because people like I heard on TikTok that it was like not that slow burn, or on TikTok or on YouTube, I don't know, but they said that it wasn't that slow. So I said, okay, let's give it a chance. Like, let's give it a go. Let's see if I liked it. I didn't. I mean, the characters were kind of meh. It didn't have much in the book. So yeah, I mean, kind of average. I think I give it 3 stars just because the book wasn't bad, but it didn't really make me feel anything or like even attached to the characters. But yeah, this book is about I don't know, a girl and her friend go to a porn convention, and there she meets a porn star. And it's about the relationship, kind of like they start building up this friendship between them, and then they start being lovers. But it wasn't really memorable. I didn't really like that much. And then it was my time to suffer again, because every time I read books of this author, I am in verge of crying. I don't know why. I always take pride on not crying, but this author completely breaks me. So next book I read was 18 Lies by Jana Darling. So Jana Darling has this series, which is the Fallen Men series, and this one is, I think, the 5th book. The second one in the series is one of my absolute favorite books, like of all time, and it isn't like, I don't know, I just love them so much. I love the entire group in the series. I love all the characters. So yeah. So the next book I read was 18 Lies, which follows Lila and Nova, who were like 2 characters that we met, but we didn't really focus on till now. Even though I have to admit that at times I wanted to punch Nova like Will Smith did. No, okay, that was. But yeah, even though at times I wanted to punch Noah in the face, I really liked it. I think right now, like the first one would be, for me in the ranking of these books, the first one would be definitely Welcome to the Dark Side, because it was one of my all-time favorites. Then 18 Lies, then After the Fall. They are really good. Which it's also an age gap romance, so if you don't really like to read that kind of books, I understand that you are not gonna like them. And it's a dark romance. So yeah, I feel like this will, like, only a specific group of people will like this, but I really liked it. Like, for me, it did the job. Then I decided to read a cutesy romance for once. Like, not for once, I read good cutesy romances sometimes, but yeah. And I picked up The Kiss Quotient. Okay, The Kiss Quotient is about this girl named Stella, and she's autistic. Like, she's autistic and she's an econometrician. So she's quite successful in what's about job and lifestyle, and she's doing really well. But the thing is, she struggles a lot with intimacy. And since she struggles a lot with intimacy, someone like tells her that she should start dating and try it, and then when she has a bit of experience, maybe she will feel more secure or like more confident. And so she decides to like get a score, and so she met Michael, and Michael is super sweet. Like, he's Vietnamese, I think he was. Like, he's this half Vietnamese, super sweet family person, but his family is struggling. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. So yeah, he's super sweet. I don't know, but fun fact, he loves designing clothes and fashion, which, I mean, it's great. It gives him a lot of personality. So yeah, I really like these characters, but the book as it is wasn't really memorable. I liked it, I enjoyed it. Will I read it again? No, or I don't think so. Will I read the next part? Maybe, but I can't really tell. And the next book. The next book is right now my absolute favorite book of this year. So I don't know if that tells you anything, but yeah, it's great. It's really great. The next book is Kiss the Sky by Kristen Becca Ritchie. It's the first book in the Cowboy Sisters series. This book follows Connor and Rose, who are academic rivals to lovers, which I don't know, but the academic rivals to lover trope, for me, it's the best trope there is. It's the best, really. And so this book follows Connor and Rose, as I said, and happens after the first three books of the Addicted series. So after Addicted for Now comes this, and I really liked it. I mean, I love that those characters, and the thing is, after what happens, they start a reality show, and it's about the reality show, how they deal with it, and all that. And I mean, Connor and Rose. After cutesy romances, I decided to read another romance, which I mean, I feel like lately is everything I read, but I'm not ashamed of it anymore. The next book I read was There Are No Saints by Sophie Lark. I really loved the setting of this book. This book is set in San Francisco when it was an artist city. What I mean with it is when a lot of artists and a lot of like creative people went there because they heard that they had opportunities there. The main character is a girl named Mara, whose mother went to San Francisco, and her mother, I think, is left with a lot of like artists and all that. So she lived with her till she was old enough to like get out of there. And she is kind of poor. Like she goes to all these expositions and all that, but she doesn't have really have money. She never sells her pieces. She lives in in an apartment with 20 other artists. And then there is Cole. Cole is a serial killer. So Cole and his enemy, kind of, or his rival here, his artsy rival, is they are both serial killers. So something happens, and so their Cole's rival kidnaps Mara and like leaves her in certain way in Cole's like doorstep, and from there on, like it's everything that happens. I liked it. It was like a fast read for me. I quite liked it, even though it covers a lot of heavy topics. So check trigger warnings. Really, like it's important. Check them. Then I read on Wattpad, Laila. That I think right now it's a book that is published, but I didn't really like this book. I mean, I don't even remember like the main character's name was Azalea, and the man was called Gray. But like I remember that Azalea is is going through a lot. Her brother has died, and she has a lot of problems at home. So this book is quite heavy with grief and guilt. Azalea feels super guilty for what happened to her brother and all that. So yeah, it's a cutesy romance. You don't even have like steamy scenes. So yeah, I would recommend it for a light book to read in between books. But yeah, I got an advanced copy of Stepping Stone by Liv Arnold, and since I don't really know if I can say anything about this book yet, because it comes out in July or June. So I'm not going to focus on it too much. I liked it, kinda. Like, I liked it, and that's it. It was, again, a fast book. I read it. I drop it. That's it. The Song of Achilles. Achilles. The last book I finished. But you have an entire blog of when I was reading this book, so yeah, go watch it if you want more full opinion. But I like this book. It's about Achilles and Patroclus and the myth of Achilles. It's kind of how their relationship developed during the years, like along the years, since they were like 9 to when they were like 20 something or 30. The last book I'm reading this month, which I'm reading right now, like I still haven't finished this book, so I can't give an opinion yet, but I want to count it as a March read since most of it has been read on March, and also because I don't know if I'm gonna do a book wrap up next month or do like a book wrap up plus my May TBR, since it would be like April wrap up. Anyway, so the next book is The Summer of Broken Rules. Steph Boher recommended it. It has a super pretty cover, so yeah. And I can't say much about it. Just count it as a March read since I'm going to finish it today or maybe tomorrow. I hope. Anyway, you can tell me if you want to watch like next month an April wrap up plus May TBR, or if you think like I will probably read around 5 books in April, which is what I normally do each month. So you can tell me if you want to see an April wrap up plus March TBR, like May TBR, or if you feel like I should do, like instead of doing that, I should wait another 3 months and do an entire like 15 book wrap up as I've done right now. I will be reading the comments. If you have anything to say, please go ahead. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I hope you are having a great day, a great week.